Once again, namaste to all of you, and just pardon us for those little hitches, technical hitches. Our topic for today is conjunct consonants, and this is a continuation of the class that we did last week, where we also did conjunct consonants, but we worked with the nasals. In other words, when you get the nasals, the N or the M sounds, and when the N and M are joined to a consonant, like Chanchal or Manjula or Ganga, then the N is joining a G, which is a G. So when the nasal joins a consonant, so that is conjunct consonants as well, and that deals with how the different nasals for each class, remember, they are the mutes, we call them the mutes. The letters of the alphabet, the Sanskrit, are divided into 5, and it's called Ka, Cha, Ta, Ta, Pa. So I'm going to ask you to look at the slide where the table is, so that you can understand the lesson even that we did last week. Now, if you look at it, there are 5 classes of mutes. They are called the guttural, palatal, cerebrals, dentals, and labials. Right? So let's just quickly revise it. The guttural are the K sounds, starting with K. Remember, K is the most important letter there, or the consonant, because K, if you look at the titles on top, it's a little bit small, but if you look at it, it is hard and it is not aspirated. Non-aspirate means there is no sound to it. So it is K, as against aspirated K. And you can see it's written with an H, A, K-H-A, Ka, Ka. So one is non-aspirate, the other one is aspirate. Now that hard Ka, when it becomes soft, it becomes G. So a hard G becomes a hard Ka becomes a soft G. Aspirated, it is K and G. And for each of these categories, in this case, the K group or the guttural, there is a nasal, which is a soft sound again, and it is Anga. Now, Anga, right, that nasal, and why we have it in that category is if I have to write Panka, like in Pankaj, if I have to write Panka as in Pankaj, the next slides will demonstrate that to you. So you will use the Anga, the dot, the Pankaj will become the Anga before the Ka. Similarly, if you say Panka, Pankaj means lotus, Panka, when a bird flies, Panka, the wing. So again, it's Ka, the N in front of it is the Anga you see at the end of the line. I hope that's clear, right? So if you say Sang in Hindi, Shiksha Sang, see the S-A-N-G, Sang. Or if you say Sang, S-A-N-G-H-A, meaning when you come together, Sangha. Now the pronunciation of the N is a guttural N. Why? Because it is joined to a guttural. It is joined to a K or a K, G or G. So the pronunciation is guttural. Okay. Now the last one you've got there is H. H is, you'll see that right at the bottom there, H is repeated where there is the P. You can see it on the table there, but it is also in the labial section because H is pronounced one as a guttural. When it's guttural, I told you last week, it comes from your thorax. You'll feel it. You say, and you'll feel it, between your ribs. From there. as against when the is said from your lips, just simply opening the mouth and releasing the a, like that. So the next line, very quickly now, then again, cha, cha, ja, ja, ya. Now the guttural, we call it guttural because it comes right from the back of the throat, which the neck, which is called guttural, and it's called kantavya in Sanskrit. So kantha will tell you where the sound comes from. Next one is palatal or talavya. Talu, I'm sure many of you know the word talu, right? That's right. So talu means the palate, right? So, and the sounds that come from there, be aware of your tongue. When you say cha, conscious of it, where is the tongue resting? On the ridge, that palate behind your teeth, not on your teeth, but the palate behind your teeth. It rests on that cha, cha, ja, ja, and the nasal sound that will come from there, yeah, yeah. And look at the semi-vowel is, semi-vowel means it's between the vowel and the consonant. It's not quite a consonant, not quite. So like when you say it here as well, see, yeah and yeah, yeah, yeah. See, cha, cha, ja, ja, yeah. And again, if there is a nasal that is attached to the cha, chanchal, himachal, achal, all these words. You see, achal, you sing a yeah kind of sound. Ja, ranjanam, ganjanam, right? Ranja, ganja, bhanjana. Okay, getting it? Now, the next one is cerebrals. Now, the tip of your tongue has to go to the top, right? Murdhanya. That word will help you. Murdhanya. Murdhanyam is the very upper part, the roof of your mouth. Right? So if the tongue curls and the tip goes there, then you'll be able to clearly make the sound ta, ta. Let the tongue curl up. Right? Ta, ta. When you add a spurt of air to it, ta, da, da, ta, ta, da, da. And we say the ra from the same place. The tongue must be there in the same spot, and you say ra, da, ta, da, da, ra. Ra from there, and the semi-vowel, ra, ra from the same place. All right. So now, if you say ganti, what kind of nasal will you use attached to the duck? The ga, with that bindu, that Vishnu dot on your head, that kind of ganti. Ganti. Anta, anta, you see, the an must blend into the ta. So it must be a cerebral ana. Ganti. Da. Yeah. Danda, punishment. Danda. See, anda, or even anda as an egg. Anda. See, it's got to go with the da. It has to be a cerebral da. Anda. Look at the next line. Ta, ta, da, da, and na. Now, these ones you may know. Plenty of examples. Anta. Look at how we pronounce the N. Because it's joined to a ta, anta. It must be dental. Anta. Your tongue will also go to the teeth to pronounce the anta. So ta will come from the teeth, and the N will also come from the teeth. Anta. Ta. Grantha. Grantha. Da. Right? Mandam, mandam. Mandam means gently. Mandam, mandam. Anda. Right? Mandam. Then andha, andhakar, darkness. Andhakar. You must say these words. Right? You are muted, so nobody's hearing you. You can freely say those words and feel where your tongue is. Be conscious of the points of articulation from where you articulate the sound. So, andha Andhakar, darkness, right? And then there's na. Well, you can even make na is a nasal which you can actually make words with, right? Nana, nani, right? Namrata, right? And in the dentals, we also have la. La, just feel where your tongue is when you're saying la. Again, it's sitting right behind the teeth, right? And la, right? Okay. Now the labials, that's quite easy. Pa, pa, ba, bha. Right? Pa, pa, ba, bha. Right? And this one, remember in English or in the Indo-European languages, the rules for Sanskrit are more or less the same. Like look at English now. If you put a nasal before a P, pa is a P, what will it be? Must be an M. Eh? Ample, pimple, simple, jump. Say, umpa. Say, her. Well, if you can think of words with an M in front of it, but if you did have, it'll be umpa, right? Again, it'll be an M before it. Ba, right? Even in African language, we say hamba. Hamba, isn't it? Huh? African, well, the mamba is, I think, an African name for the snake. Mamba, amba. And so even we have amba as mother. So you see, they have these sounds. This is why Sanskrit, when it was discovered, all the linguists were fascinated by it. Because although we spoke the languages, it wasn't broken down the way it is explained in Sanskrit. And when you study Sanskrit, then suddenly, oh yes, I didn't know that. And then you realize that each time you're saying a P or a B, and if it's a nasalized consonant before it, it is always M. Bumble, jumble, grumble, tumble. Okay. All right, people. Then if you go down to the slides, I'll just quickly show you now how when we join a sibilant, right? Those which we did with the nasals, right? And I told you that it'll blend into the consonant. So now here, the rule, there's a rule, the Sanskrit rule. Remember, for those of us that are not studying Sanskrit and are doing Hindi, for the better part, the rules will apply. So let's look at some examples. When you make a sentence, Ramaha Kamalam Pashyati, right? Ramaha Kamalam Pashyati. Right? Simple sentence, Ram Pashyati sees Kamalam, the lotus. Right? Now, Visarga is the H with a dot below it. And those of you that know it is the two dots. There's it above you. You can see guttural. Right at the end there, it says sibilant, and working with the sibilants, there's a sibilant there. Okay? So, Ramaha at the end is those two dots if you wrote it. Kamalam is the object, therefore there's an M at the end. Pashyati, sees the lotus. Now, the rule is that Visarga, that H with a dot, it's called Visarga. There's always a rule. Even if it does not change, there's a rule why it doesn't change. I'll repeat that. There is always a rule governing the Visarga. Even if it is unchanged, there is a rule to explain why it remains unchanged. So when it is followed by ka or pa, right, it remains unchanged. It's got nothing to do with pa here because the pa is later on, right? So we're looking at the ka. The Visarga is followed by ka, and when followed by ka or ka, it remains unchanged. All right. So remember, it is followed by ka, and if you look at the top there, ka is a hard. So remember, it is unchanged because ka is hard. But when that ka becomes a ga, look at it. Ramaha gacchati. Pashyati gacchati. Same, you could put pashyati here too. Right? Gacchati is a soft ga. So when you say Ramaha Gacchati, that Ramaha, the Visarga, changes to O because it is followed by Ga, which is a soft sound. So Ramaha followed by Ga becomes Ramo Gacchati. All right. So now let's look at how the palatals work now from the guttural. We go to the, there's the palatals on the top of the chart there. Cha, cha, ja, ja, ya. Again, cha and cha are hard. Ja and ja are soft. The nasal is also soft. Right? So, and the sibilant sha and the vowel, semi-vowel. So, Ramaha Chalati, now look at it. Right? This time, what happens to the Visarga when it is followed by cha? Cha is hard. Ramaha Chalati will become Ramash Chalati. See? Now the S there is a sibilant. And it is a palatal sibilant. There's it there on the top of the chart. Palatal sibilant. Right? So when we join into cha, cha, ja, ja, it'll have to change to Ramash Chalati. But if it is followed by a soft, where the cha changes to ja in the next example, cha, a hard cha has become a soft ja. So Ramaha Janakaha becomes a Ramo Janaka. Just like the previous rule. Yeah. You remember the previous? Soft before ga, it changed. See, Ramo Gacchati, right? Ramo Janaka. All right. Now, the same will apply for the next one. Look at Ramaha plus Tika. Ta. Look at the top of your, always look at the top. Ta and ta there are the hard ones. Previously, when it was palatals, we said Ramaha Chalati, Ramash Chalati, Ramaha Tika. Now, the Visarga will change to the sibilant of the cerebral. It will change to Sha. Look at the cerebral. So it will change to that Sha. Ramash Tika. Huh? It's a long E. Tika. Ramash Tika. Sorry about that. Ramash Tika. Huh? Okay. Same rule, people. I'm just giving you examples to demonstrate it, but the rule. Ramaha na dahati. Ramo dahati. Just like Ramo gacchati, Ramo dahati. So when it is a soft consonant, it changes to O. Right. Now the next one will same rule again. Right. Look at this one here. Now we're working with the dental. Look at this. Ramaha plus ta. Ta, tarati. Tarati means Ram swims. Right? Ramaha tarati. Ramas tarati. A little error there. This should be not tarata, it's tarati. Yeah. Just pardon me, people, just doing this thing. So a little error slipped by. So just correct them. Ramaha tarati, Ramas tarati. Can you see? The H is changing to an S. There's the table on the top. I'll tell you why it's S. Because it's dental. Ta is dental. The sibilant must be dental. Okay. Then the same dental, when it is soft, Ramaha dahati becomes Ramo dahati. See, when it's followed by na, Ramo namati. Ramaha namati, Ramo namati. And that is why when we say Namaha Namaha, what do we say? Namo Namaha. Namo Namaha. Okay. Yeah? So you know these things, you do it, but you don't know the rules. This will help you understand the rules as to why they change. All right. So now we're left with the pa, pa, ba, bha. And if you remember, I told you earlier, Ramaha plus param, it does not change. Ramaha phalam, Ramaha phalam. Ramaha phalam khadati, he eats the fruit, right? But when the visarga is followed by pa or pa, right, it remains unchanged. Again, I'm reminding you that even if it remains unchanged, there's a rule. If it changes, there's a rule why it changes. If it doesn't change, there's a rule why it didn't change. Ramaha plus Bala. Asti is a boy, we can just add Asti, whatever it is. Right? Ramaha, Bala. This time it is followed by a soft ba. Hard ba, now soft ba. So because it's a soft ba, Ramo Bala. Again, like we did last week, just as the nasal will change according to the consonant that follows it, similarly, the sibilant will change according, right, to the consonant that follows it. Now, all right, please, I'm just saying this in a light vein. Don't take it seriously, but it's just a fun example for you to remember. It's like this, say, like Ramaha plus Chalati, Ramas Chalati, right? So Ramaha plus Chalati, the cha and the visarga are getting married. See? So the cha is saying, sorry, man, visarga, I can only marry you if your caste is right. You see? So you must change your caste and become palatal. So you know how the boys are, they say, no, it's okay, anything to get married. See? So Ramaha Chalati, so the visarga changes to, yes, right? It changes to palatal. Now that both are palatal, Panditji can do the marriage ceremony. See? Rama Chalati, Ramas Chalati. See, the Ramas Tika, right? Same, the ta is saying Bhaiya, Visarga, right? Everything is right, the book is all right. But to settle the Gandhana, right, you just have to change to cerebral. So it becomes Ramas Tika, and fine, you got the married, the Sandhi is done. Sandhi means joining. Got it? Huh? So make sure the jat is right before you marry them in Sandhi. Right? All right, if there's, put the recording off and allow us to take some questions if there's any. Just a minute or two, people.